folks, my PAC, fellow PAC members in my community, my area, my state, my several states, whoever it is, relying on those guys, those accreditation managers, those folks that have been in those positions already to share information. We're not recreating the wheel, so we share policies and procedures, but we make it fit our particular agency, involving as many people within the department as possible in the process. Like, for example, I like to find my subject matter experts, for example, on use of force, show them the policies, the CALEA standards that deal with what they deal with, and help them get input from them. That helps build buy-in for the process from more people within the department.
For me, as a new accreditation manager, my best resources were my predecessor, and beyond that, it was the executive officers of our department who really support the CALEA and what it stands for, and were very supportive in my endeavors, and basically assist me in whatever manner they could to help me transition into my position and to successfully complete our last evaluation. So a very helpful resource is the Midwest PAC. Those PAC organizations, they are gems. There's so much intelligence and history and resources there that are available to new accreditation managers. If you have not reached out to them, you should, because they are there for you and you will be for them.
Last cycle we had no less than 3 accreditation managers. We had some issues that popped up with our status. And reaching out to our regional manager, Tim Basinger, was phenomenal. He was very responsive. So everything that Doug said, but I would just add the regional manager as well. When you're new, you have no idea how big this process is. So at first you think you got a good idea what's going on, only to find out that you're not even close to how really big it is. I think what Doug's advantage this time around is that he spent the last 6 months in it. In our last cycle, he'll be starting the new. He knows more about what's already required of the magnitude of what's required than I ever did in my first go around, basically.
It was very impressive to me that Tim shows up for all of our PAC meetings, because I know that's quiet travel for him, and that just shows you how dedicated he is to make sure that we get what we need to be successful in the CALEA process. What I would encourage new accreditation managers, which is what I'm doing right now, is to get in there and play with Power DMS. I mean, there is a massive amount of things that you can do that to make your job easier. And I will say that Power DMS has been extremely supportive, both in person and over the phone, in helping us get through any hurdles that we overcome.
Well, we actually had that moment. So the CALEA process with the whole evidence section deals with doing the complete audit whenever you have a changeover in evidence custodians. So when we did that, we actually did have a turnover, and through that, we found that we had some issues going on in our evidence room, which ultimately led to us having to contact our state agency to come in and do a investigation, and it resulted in one of our police captains being arrested. And doing that, I think that we could have had bigger issues down the road, so we really appreciate everything that CALEA has done for us. It's exactly what you guys say it is. It is the gold standard.
My number one resource has been our regional PAC, the Georgia Police Accreditation Coalition. They have been a great resource. I've had a bunch of key people who have definitely positively impacted my success on this project. In May 2013, when I was reassigned from training as a lieutenant to work in accreditation, the very first thing I should have done was start immediately a policy revision project. That very first on-site that I participated in 2014 revealed to me that we had many policies that required a revision. Some of them haven't been required since 2009, so that needed to be jumped on immediately, and I wish I had done that earlier.
These conferences have been crucial, I think, to our self-assessment process, and I was fortunate enough to go to one prior to our enrollment to get an idea of what kind of work was in my future. But now, having networked at these conferences and met other accreditation managers, I think that networking and the ability to go to another accreditation manager or to our PAC, in our case, the Northwest PAC, really provide the answers that I'm looking for.
A couple cycles ago, when we were going through our on-site, a couple issues came up where in trying to fix the issues, I really came to realize while my accreditation manager was basically panicking because there was a chance he would get what they call applied discretion, that I sat in my office and I realized, well, wow, what a great thing, because if we did not have these assessors here to catch this, we could have went on for 3 more years. And it really changed my opinion as far as the on-sites and how we look at exactly what they're finding in the on-site and the feedback, where now I want them to find things, and we have been rewarded from our practices as a result of the CALEA standards.
What brought us initially to CALEA accreditation was shortly after Sandy Hook. We did a review of our operations, our policies, our procedures, and really sort of an assessment of how prepared are we with today's society and where things were going. It wasn't too long into the review that we realized that we really needed to elevate our standards and basically our best practices as far as how we would handle these situations. We knew we had to act in certain ways, but the structure, the formality wasn't all there. So we would look to seek accreditation to really show that we were following some sort of best practices. We had looked at different organizations and really came to CALEA, and what really sold us with the CALEA accreditation was the networking and the support that the organization offered. Basically, the support is phenomenal, and that's really what brought us to this. It's still a very huge undertaking, but the support is really what helped us get to where we are today.